Uh, Hello there. I've bought some more stuff, so today I'm going to be showing you it. I'll. I'm also going to try and go through these quicker than I normally do because I don't want the video to be like really long, like usual. So I'll start off with the only 4K I've bought. Alien Covenant. This was 11.99 in HMV, so bargain. I enjoyed this when I saw it at the cinema, but I've not seen it since. So hopefully it'll hold up for me. I don't know if I did rewatch Prometheus. You might remember in the last video I showed you that I'd bought Prometheus. So I rewatched it because after I got this because I knew I was going to rewatch this at some point. So I wanted to rewatch that one first to sort of refresh myself, and I actually quite enjoyed it. I remember hating Prometheus at the time, but I quite enjoyed it when I watched it. So I'm looking forward to watching this again. So, you know, maybe I'll enjoy this even more than I did at the cinema. Maybe I'll enjoy it less. Who knows? Fun to go back and watch things after about a decade to see, or a few years even to see if you've changed your opinion. I might do that with the Star Wars sequel, like Episode 8, Last Jedi, because I wasn't that fussed on it, but wondering if I watch it again, whether I like it more or I like it less. It'll be interesting to see. I did plan on getting the sequel trilogy and Solo, because I don't have those, just to have all the Star Wars films, in case I ever want to do a marathon. Also, on my TV, I've noticed you can set the like a like a theme for the menus and screensaver and stuff. I picked the Star Trek one. That's why you see the Star Trek images behind me. I'm waffling on again. Let's move on. We have two films from from HMV's premium collection line, which I got in the 2 for 15 sale. That's on at the minute. So if you like your premium collection releases, there's a sale on. You probably know this. Uh, anyway, um, they're both gangster films. That wasn't intentional. I just happened to pick up two gangster films. We have Donnie Brasco, which is number 22, and Scarface, the original Scarface from the 30s, which is number 140. I didn't realize they'd made that many of these. Both really good films. Both two of my favourite gangster films. Donnie Brasco, I'm looking forward to, especially because the Blu-ray. This is a DVD Blu-ray in the same box. It comes with the DVD as well. The Blu-ray is the extended cut, which is 25 minutes longer. Which I'm looking forward to because I assume the version I saw it on TV, and I assume the version I saw on TV was the cinema version. So it'll be interesting to see what they've put back in. It is kind of annoying that only the extended cut's on the Blu-ray, like the theatrical cut is just a DVD. I mean, it's nice that it's included, but why can't that also be a Blu-ray? Like, what if I prefer the theatrical cut? Have to watch it. Have to watch it in lesser quality. That's not. I don't like that. Scarface also has two versions. It's the original version plus basically in the early 30s, before they brought in the Hays Code. Each American state had its own censorship rules, and there were a couple of states that didn't like the ending of this film. They I don't want to say what happened because I don't want to spoil it for you, but basically, um, they felt that Tony wasn't punished in the right way. So there was another ending shot, and you can tell it was shot later because it's clearly not Paul Muni because he's shot from behind. You don't see his face. Paul Muni's the actor who plays Tony in this version. So I don't even think the director Howard Hawks. Is it Howard Hawks? Yeah, Howard Hawks. Howard Hughes was the producer. Uh, but basically, so they've shot this other ending, and you can actually watch the film with that ending put back in, which is really cool. Uh, it was on the DVD, but just as an extra on its own, you couldn't, But now you can see it put back into the film, which is quite a cool extra. So yeah, premium collection releases are usually quite good. generally the stuff that got released. When it started, it was just really films that got released on Blu-ray in other countries, and they would bring them out over here, and to entice people who'd already bought them, to put them in the fancy slip covers with the art cards and stuff. But yeah, they're good releases though. I like them. Um, Next we have The Thing. This is the 2011 prequel to the John Carpenter film. Not the original. The original is The Thing from Another World from 1951. John Carpenter's, but a lot of people just um, refer to John Carpenter's film as the original thing, and it's not. But anyway, that's besides the point. This is the prequel to that film, and yeah, I quite like this. It's not a great film, but I think it's a decent sci-fi horror, and it's quite interesting to see what happened, because it's literally like it ends just before the Carpenter film begins, so it's kind of an interesting companion piece, and it's just pretty decent. Uh, yeah, there. So, brain fart. But yeah, I think it's a all right film. I quite like it. I think it'd be, and it was. This is a rental copy, but it's the same disc as the regular one. It's got all the extra features, so no different. It was quite cheap, and I just fancy it because I've got the Carpenter film and the Thing from Another World, and I thought it might be fun to do like a marathon of the three of them at some point. So yeah, the Thing prequel. Now we're on to the DVDs. This is the big red one, the reconstruction. Uh, this is a war film, World War II film by Samuel Fuller, who's a director I've never been able to get into. Like, I've tried to watch a few of his films, including this one. Also, I think 40 Guns, and I forget what it was called, but it was set in the Korean War. If any of you are familiar with Samuel Fuller's films, you'll probably know which one I'm talking about. But I tried to watch those three, this and the other two, and I could never get into them. I would just turn them off partway through. For some reason, I just can't get into his films. But I wanted to give him another chance, and because I've heard this one particularly is a very good film, so I thought, what, I'll give it another go. I'll try and sit through the whole thing this time. And like I say, this is the reconstruction, which is basically the original version of the film was like it wasn't cut the way Samuel Fuller wanted it to be. So what this it was basically an attempt to try and take the footage and try and edit the movie the way he probably would have if he'd had full like the final edit. Because he obviously he died by the time they did the reconstruction. But basically, this was an attempt to reconstruct what his version probably would have looked like. This is the D'Agostini version. Basically, they were like it was like a magazine thing. It would be a magazine with a DVD, and there would be like collections. So like this was the war movie collection, so it would be like the war movie collection, and every month you get or every couple of weeks, I don't know how often, you get a magazine with a DVD, and yeah, and you see a lot of these floating around in like car boot fairs and um, charity shops and stuff. It's fine. I think the regular DVD was 2 disc. This is just the film disc, which is a shame because you lose most of the you don't get a commentary, but you lose most of the extras. But I think the 2 disc's quite hard to find now, so I'm okay with just having this. Again, it wasn't that expensive, so that's the big red one. Stars. It's got Mark Hamill in it from Star Wars, so Star Wars fans should probably give that a look. Next we have these next couple. They're bad films. I bought them because Robert, Baushi is his channel name. I'll put it in the description. He and I sometimes like to watch crap films for a laugh. So I bought a couple. The Swarm, which is a disaster film about killer bees coming to kill us all, basically. It's meant to be one of the worst films of all time, but looking at the trailer, it looked like it'd be quite unintentionally funny, so I thought, well, pick it up. And it's in one of these old snapper cases, which I don't think I own. No, I've got The Hobbit animated film in snapper case, but that and this are the only two snapper cases I have, so it's kind of cool from like a historical perspective to have it in a snapper case. It was just because it was the cheapest one that I could find. And the second bad film is The Color of Night with Bruce Willis. It's an erotic thriller, which pretty much all the like from the early '90s, all those erotic thrillers from like the early '90s are all trash, pretty much. But yeah, again, I thought it would be quite might be a good laugh. I think this is the director's cut. Basically, there's a story. Another reason why I wanted to pick it up is because there's quite an interesting history behind it, where the director Richard Rush and the producer Andrew C. Vagina. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They didn't agree on what the final film should be, so they made a compromise where the cinema version would be the producer's edit, like the way he wanted it cut, and then when it came out on video, it would be Richard Rush's edit, the director's cut, which is, I think this is what, it doesn't mention it on the box, but I think it probably is. So apparently the director's cut is a little bit better. It's like less bad, but yeah. Color of Night. Next we have a film that I think I've seen a bit. I think I've seen a little bit of it on TV years ago, but I didn't see the whole film. But I've heard it's really good, and it was in a charity. This Color of Night and the next two were all 4 for £1 in a charity shop, so I got them all for 25p. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Yeah, I've heard it's really good, and I liked what I saw of it. Yeah, I remember liking little part of it I saw. So it's Johnny Depp. Lives in a guy in. He's a guy who lives in Iowa, and he's got Leonardo DiCaprio plays his brother, who's, I think, is he disabled? Is Arnie, who's never expected to survive childhood. So yeah, his brother's like disabled or has health issues or something like that, and apparently Leo's really good in this. So yeah, What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Next we have this is a TV series I used to love when I was younger, and I don't think I've seen it since probably about, I don't know, when was it on. It doesn't say when it was originally on, but like probably but a good 20 years old, I would imagine. Walking with Beasts, which is a spin-off from Walking with Dinosaurs, if any of you remember that. This is the Reader's Digest DVD. Basically, I guess it came with the Reader's Digest, and I'm not sure what this is. Exclusive Reader's Digest version. See, I thought it was going to be like just like episodes of it, like, but it says it's the exclusive Reader's Digest version, and I haven't watched the whole DVD. But when I put it in, there was no like episode selection. I think it looks like it's like a few of the episodes cut together to like feature length. So, which is kind of interesting. I will probably try and get the proper DVD to get the full episodes, but it's kind of interesting to have this as a curio, you know, where like a curio presentation of it. So yeah, but yeah, looking forward to watching this again. The CGI probably looks like really dated, even though it was quite cutting edge at the time. Like you look at like Walking with Dinosaurs and this, and the special effects of like to make the creatures on screen, the CGI was really cutting edge at the time. You look at it now and it looks, a bit pants really, because it's like 20 years later. But yeah, looking forward to checking it out again. And last we have a classic film, not one of my favourite. I generally like sci-fi films from the 50s. This one I'm not the biggest fan of. I do enjoy it, but I do think it's quite dated. But it is entertaining, and it is a classic, and it has had a lot of influence, so it's worth owning just for that. We have The War of the Worlds from, was it 53? 52. I was off by a year. Yeah. I used to have this exact DVD, not this exact copy, I assume, but like I had this version, and I sold it, and I don't know why I sold it, because, like I said, I do enjoy the film, and I'm thinking, why did I sell it? and I'll get that for 25p. I'll rebuy it, and I watched it, and I remembered why I sold it, because the picture quality is not the best on this. It's not like awful, but you can tell it's not been remastered. It's just got like scratches and dirt, and the color looks a bit off and stuff. So it's not being cleaned up really. So that's probably why I sold it in the first place. So I will probably, you can get it on Blu-ray, not in this country, but in other countries. So I will probably try and import a version to get a better quality release. But this will do for now. Just if I want to watch it. It doesn't have any extra features, but it does. It's quite cool. It has a little leaflet with like notes about the like production notes, which is kind of cool. You don't see that anymore. Well, you do in like boutique releases. You get like booklets and stuff, but like I guess this is Paramount, I think, isn't it? Yeah, Paramount. Like a studio putting out like a disc with like a little booklet in. You don't see that anymore, which is a shame because if you're not going to put anything on the disc, at least give me like a little booklet or something. He's put some effort in. So that's it. Basically, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like, and I'll see you next time.